We are. So, Mr. Crash, the
Yes, sir.
man, the myth, the legend himself, the
I
boomer
don't know about
god,
all that.
cheese lad over the posture check. Thank you. I mean, I can't really sit back too much further without my chair breaking. So, how you doing, man? How you doing? If you have any questions for Crash, by the way, drop them in the comments, and we will get them asked to him. Doesn't matter what it is. Anything you want to know. He is married, I'm afraid, though, ladies. So,
Yeah,
just
spoiler alert. Sorry.
sorry.
But
Yeah. So
yeah, man, I've been
it's
been doing good. Been streaming some video games, doing quite a bit of YouTube for Battlefield, man. Excited for Battlefield 2042.
Yes, yeah, we've been watching a lot of your Battlefield content. Well, I have personally, and I hope a lot of people that are watching have been as well. Um, if you haven't seen already, if you do exclamation mark Crash, you'll be able to see all of his links there as well. So go and give him a follow on Twitter, Twitch, and the YouTube itself. So he's been doing some Battlefield videos. He's had some pretty big guests on there as well. Some lovely, lovely little videos.
Yeah. I was really honored to be able to interview Tom Henderson. He's been a long time industry insider for like Call of Duty. And for this time, when he saw the Battlefield trailer, one of the leaked trailers, he decided to switch to Battlefield. So, and I think a lot of people are going to do that this year. I think there's going to be a lot of people move from Call of Duty to Battlefield. And he was one of them, and he graciously agreed to do an interview. And yeah, it was awesome. We talked about some of the leaked stuff, some of the stuff no one had seen yet at that time. And yeah, yeah, it was really cool. Have you seen the trailer? Have you seen the Battlefield
I
trailer?
have seen the trailer. I
What'd you
watched that
What'd you think?
live with you. So
Nice,
I thought
nice.
it looked pretty good. I've always been more of a Call of Duty person than a Battlefield person, but it's got me excited. It has got me excited. And Cheese Ladder, that's in the chat at the moment. I'm sure he will be playing with me as well. Thank you very much, Norm McDonald, for the follow as well, by the way. Didn't expect to cry when you woke up. I am very, very sorry. I'm very sorry, but we're all going to cry at some point. So, but no, I'm really excited to play this Battlefield, which a couple of years ago, perhaps even a year ago, I never thought I'd be saying that. So,
Right, and that's what's going to be interesting to me. Like the Call of Duty versus Battlefield marketing and everything is going to be really fun to watch this year. I think there's a lot of outside influences that are. I think people are just there's a little bit of franchise fatigue with Call of Duty. It hasn't had any competition in 3 or 4 years at all. So I think that the environment's kind of pretty good for Battlefield for something new for people to hop over. It's going to be interesting to see what their answer for battle royale is going to be, since they said there's not going to be one. I still think there is, but I think they're just messing with us.
yeah, I certainly think there's a BR coming for that. Shout out Beast Mode Boone as well, by the way. Thank you very much for the follow. And Hillbilly Man as well. Thank you very much, man. Pleasure to have you here. We do have a question for you from Cheese Laddo. He wants to know if you've got an OnlyFans.
No, not at this time, but if there gets to be more of a demand for it, we got to get that bread, I mean,
There we go. Battlefield OnlyFans. That could be your new.
there we go.
But no, I definitely think there's going to be a battle royale coming. I think that's still very much the in thing, and like you say, it is a lot of fatigue. There is no real competition for Warzone at the moment.
Yeah,
Obviously, you have your Fortnites, your Apexes, PUBG, games like that, but Warzone's just a bit different, isn't it? There's something
yeah.
about it in both a good and a bad way. But
Yeah, people I think are looking for something new. It just feels like I know I am. And they have also said, and I Tom Henderson did tweet this, and I don't know if it was from any insider information or not, but he thinks that there's the hazard zone game mode that Battlefield is talking about might morph into a battle royale if it doesn't take off right off the rip. Um, so I thought that was interesting. I'm very interested to hear what they're going to do with that hazard zone game mode. They said it's squad based, high stakes, which makes me think like no respawn, objective based, and there's going to be a lot of communication and squad play. So I'm very interested to see what they're going to tell us there. I think we hear about that in about a month at EA Play.
it's going to be very exciting, and I hope you're ready to carry me that as well. So
Let's do it, man.
that's the plan for me. That's what everyone here is for. Is I'm just basically signing up for different games to carry me in. That's the whole aim of
Let's
the
do it.
stream, really. But no,
I'll do that.
I'm excited. Obviously, I know there's been a bit of negativity that I've seen at least about there not being a campaign,
Mhm.
but I understand that with what they're going to be doing with the multiplayer experience and having the story go through the seasons in that.
Yeah,
I'm
I think the no campaign thing is going to be kind of like ripping a band-aid off. I think at the first, people like to play that campaign a lot at the first to kind of get the feel for the game, how the mechanics work, the story behind it, stuff like that. But if you think about it, you play that campaign for 4 to 5 hours or whatever it takes, and once you beat it, that's just a part of the game most people never touch again. And there's so many resources that go into making a campaign for people to only play it for a few hours. So I totally get it. And then it's going to be interesting to see if how they keep up with the story. Like you said, through the seasons, through the multiplayer, they've already put quite a bit of the backstory about why the two superpowers are fighting and, kind of the state of the world and stuff like that. So that's a different way to look at games, but I totally get it from like a resource management perspective, right? Like you put all these dev resources and all this time, actors, voice actors. I mean, pretty much what you do to make a movie for a
yeah.
campaign, and then for people just to play it for a few hours and then never touch it again. It's kind of makes sense.
Exactly. And obviously, the real core of these sort of games is your multiplayer experience, where you can jump on with your friends, and either you can obviously have different styles. You can want to go on and be ultra sweaty and go and improve yourself, but you can always jump on and have a laugh with friends as well. So I'm glad that they are putting a lot of focus into the multiplayer side of thing. I do hope there is a BR for it. I really do hope there's going to be one. Because that is incredibly fun. Obviously, I know you've been playing a lot of BR as well at the moment with Warzone and with Beast Mode Boone himself
Yep,
and
the legend himself. Yep.
the absolute
Yeah,
legend himself. Obviously, it does get a
it's
bit
gonna be.
fatiguing as well.
Pardon?
It does get a bit fatiguing as well, obviously, having your
Right.
same sort of BR experience. So, like I say, I hope that is something we are going to get from Battlefield coming out. The two of them going against each other to raise each game.
Yeah. Yeah, and it would be. I'm hoping like my grand dream for Battlefield would be to be a one-stop shop for a first-person shooter fan. So you would have they said they're going to have AI bots in lobbies. So like if someone's new and they just want to experiment with maybe flying a jet around or practicing their aim, or maybe they change their sensitivity, they can hop in with some bots and play that. And then if you want to mess around on grand scale with your friends in a squad, you can play Conquest or Breakthrough. And then I'm hoping for those of me, I've also been kind of a fan of Rainbow Six Siege. That competitive aspect, if that's in Hazard Zone, would be awesome. And then that third redacted mode. The leaks from what I've been hearing is it's possibly going to be like a Battlefield hub where you can play like remastered versions of all the old Battlefields. So like if all of those different experiences from your casual to your competitive can all live in one game with a single mechanic, I think that'd be awesome without having to switch games for those to scratch those itches.
Yeah, like I say, you've got virtually everything you could possibly want from that sort of experience there available at your fingertips. Hillbilly Man 404 wants to know if you're the tallest man on Twitch.
I don't know, Tuna, am I?
I would say you're pretty big.
You better say yes, or you'll get in trouble from my fans.
Yeah, I don't want to be getting told off again. But no, I'm
That was
definitely going to
hilarious.
say you are the tallest man on Twitch.
I
Crash and
don't.
Doctor Disrespect are the same height. Disrespect left Twitch, so yeah, Crash holds the crown. There we are. That is it.
That's right. I will also take on anyone in a bench press contest too. If we need to go there, we'll do it.
That's interesting.
We'll
We know what
yeah.
the next one's going to be.
Who
So
started the tall thing?
I
Was that Mr. Dorsey against Dakota? Like, how tall is Dorsey? I
uh,
don't even
I
know.
think Dawes is like 4'5".
Hmm.
I don't think he's
Okay,
watching right now to hear me say that,
I got you.
fortunately. So,
That's too
um,
bad. You have to clip it and send it to him.
but I have absolutely no idea who started it all. I just know BJ came into your stream and started it. I took it to the next
Yeah.
level. Yeah, got a slap on the wrist for it. Uh, no worries, Jojo. Make sure everyone's safe there. Make sure you're safe in the storm. I'm not going anywhere, so don't worry about me. So, but no, you have been blowing up quite a bit on YouTube recently. Had a lot of
Yeah,
success coming up with the Battlefield game and obviously all the releases around that.
I've been humbled by the success over there, and shout out to Hillbilly Man. He helps me a lot with ideas and and keeping my head right because sometimes like it can mess with you a little bit. Like it seems like the videos that I'm like super excited about and put a bunch of work into, and I know nobody else is doing. Like, I did a time to kill analysis of the trailer that no one else did. Like, I looked at the health bar in frames and I measured it in pixels to determine the damage, and then I counted, the fire rate of the vector in the trailer through, how many shots per frame, and I was super excited to put that video out. And then like it didn't do very well. So it's just stuff like that kind of bums you out. But I also have to take a step back and look at where I started. Like just a few months ago I would be thrilled with 100 views, right? And then I'm over here complaining that it barely made 1,000 views. Is like,
Yeah.
and it's
Which,
bad. I shouldn't be like that, but yeah, it's been really cool. And I saw, I don't know, I saw a segment, like a niche a little bit in YouTube where a lot of the larger Battlefield creators had moved to Warzone because it's been such a content drought with Battlefield. And I just decided to try to make videos covering it and did the best I could. And I try to make videos that I would want to watch. So I try to stay away from the, hey guys, please subscribe, please like, it helps. Like I try to stay away from that stuff and I just try to get to the point, sprinkle in a tiny bit of entertainment and jokes to the best of my ability, and make videos that I would like to watch that don't waste a bunch of time. It's my goal.
I mean, that's what you've got to do, aren't you? You've got to find that gap, which you have done. And like you say, you've done really well. And the time to kill video, I really enjoyed that, to be honest with you. It had
Appreciate that.
J God vibes. So,
Eh,
and a bit of,
yeah,
exclusive aids, because when the first trailers were dropped for Cold War, that's the sort of stuff that they were doing as well for Cold War itself. Um,
yeah. And
so
I'm
I don't think a
I
lot of
think
people realise how much work actually goes into that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit scared of the work. My goal, like, I mean, like J God, Exclusive A, Drifter, like those guys are in a different stratosphere than me, of course. But I want to produce videos as to their level of quality, and the work is going to be substantial. Testing weapons, and I'm already working on spreadsheets that I can put the information into, and they actually import into After Effects. So I have templates already for it's like time to kill graphs that are animated and stuff like that. So I mean, that's really what I'm gonna try to do. Um, we'll see how it goes. It's gonna be a lot of work, but do my best.
I mean, if anyone deserves the success, it's going to be you. Um, Harley Cups, how you doing? Oh, hey, that's Crash. That is Crash. And thank you very much as
Yeah,
well, Norm, for the hydrate. Even
thank
though
you,
I'm not really
Dubs.
talking, but that applies to Crash as well, by the way. Crash has to hydrate as well.
Oh, does coffee count as hydrating?
Sure, it does.
It's got water in it, right?
Yeah, sure. I haven't told you this, by the way. I've just sprung that on you. Um, so let's talk about the Twitch side of things. Obviously, Twitch is a completely different sort of animal to YouTube itself. Uh,
Yeah,
How long have you
Twitch is.
been on Twitch for streaming?
It would have been. I think I started in March of 2020. About the time everybody's had to stay home for the pandemic and everything. I had a video business I did on the side, and I had all the cameras and the lights and stuff. And I was like, just kind of bored at the house. I'm like, let's kick this thing on and see who shows up. And honestly, I mean, everyone who streams on Twitch understands like how hard it is to get discovered on the platform. Like it's tough. But the core community that has found me and we found each other and hang out with is just it's been awesome, and it's totally been worth it. The people that you meet on Twitch are awesome. And that's what I learned. I started multi-streaming just to kind of see what sticks. I used to stream to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch all at the same time up until the time I decided to take the Twitch affiliate when you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But just the culture on Twitch is just so much different. People on Facebook are, probably sitting on the toilet, scrolling through their phone, and they see something, and they don't want to just kind of settle in and hang out. But like people on Twitch, you kind of develop, friendships with and come hang out and talk and chat and are, stay around for a while. And that's kind of why I gravitated towards Twitch. And I probably could have more streaming success if I wanted to on YouTube. I could stream to the YouTube channel over there, but I just like the people on Twitch a lot, and I don't want to lose that. So I keep doing that. And honestly, even streaming to just a few people helped me so much when I did come to making YouTube videos. I honestly don't think that I would have started making YouTube videos with a face cam, and I think I was one of the few Battlefield YouTubers. I don't really put myself as a YouTuber. I haven't had that level of success to call myself that, in my opinion, but one of the first ones to actually use a face cam, and I don't think I could have done that without getting comfortable in front of the camera streaming to Twitch. So I think as you are streaming to Twitch, and even if you're just starting or a small channel, it's important to focus on skills like that, right? Like get better at stuff. Even, you know, even if you're not successful right now, just focus on getting more skills and better. And, you know, eventually someday maybe you can help somebody else out and you can help each other and network, but you develop these skills so when it's your time to shine, like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's just it. Obviously, everyone starts from the same place. Everyone starts with nothing. You have to work your way up. So that is obviously a great way of looking at it. Welcome to chat, by the way, Elmo. You're not allowed to stream to multiple platforms, but there's never been a ban for it. Just a random fact there. There we go.
It's
It's,
true.
it's normally me giving Elmo the random facts, but that makes a nice change. But no,
It's true. And
Twitch
that
is a
did cross my
fantastic
mind.
place.
It's
Obviously,
just like,
I've known you a couple of months now through Twitch. I think just coming up to 2 months, and honestly, most of the fantastic friends that I've met have come through Twitch itself. So, I mean, Elmo himself, I knew from beforehand. We used to work together, but then we sort of drifted apart. I found him again on Twitch. He was streaming, I was streaming. So obviously I've met him through there. Cheese Lado, another one that I used to work with himself. He's someone that I have known this entire way through. But everyone else I've met through Twitch itself, and it's just such a
yeah,
fantastic place. Obviously, there is a lot of negativity you get, but that's everywhere. So
that's the internet.
that certainly is. And obviously, I met you through Beast My Boon himself and his wonderful family. So, did you know Boone and his family before you started streaming, or is that something that you met through?
So that's really interesting. That's kind of a combination of both. So I've known his dad, Walt, for a very long time. We worked together on outdoor filming projects. Oh man, I don't even want to say like 10 years ago. Well, I mean, I guess 8 because I was actually with Walt when he found out he was going to have Beast Mode Boone. We were actually on a filming trip together. And so that's kind of an interesting fact. And then we kind of, you know, lost touch for a few years. And then when I was multi-streaming on Facebook, he was one of my Facebook friends and saw I was streaming. And he's like, "Hey man, my son Boone's streaming too. We should get some games in sometime." And like we kind of reconnected again, and it's been awesome. It re kind of sounds weird, but it rekindled our friendship more or
Sounds
less, like
sounds
to hang
exactly
out and
like
play.
me and Elmo. Whether you can call that friendship is a different question, but no, obviously it does help me starting out to have someone that is doing that as well. Don't you think that will help you and guide you through things as well? Because it can be a scary world. Your very first stream, like, well, what do I do? Like, press that go live button, and you're sort of like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like,
Yeah, it's really good to have friends that do it too, and you can kind of bounce ideas off of and you know, like yeah, talk about, hey, I experienced this, and they probably have experienced it too, and you guys can work through it together. So I think that's one of the best parts about Twitch is getting those friends.
it is. I'm ignoring chat because I can see that Elmo's starting to roast me, so I'm ignoring him right now. But
There you
no,
go. You just gotta.
yeah, see, friends.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, what do you? Might be a weird question, but what do you prefer? Would you rather be streaming on Twitch or do you prefer making the YouTube videos? Which one gives you more satisfaction, shall we say?
Hmm. Right. Man, that's a tough question, and I don't. Hmm. That's a really good question, actually. I I don't want to like make it sound like I don't appreciate viewers on either platform because that's one of my biggest things. Like there are so many creators out there. I mean, it's a pretty flooded place with people making awesome content. And for people to take the time to either stop into my stream or click on one of my YouTube videos and watch it through is just it's an honor. Like I appreciate it so much because there's so much good stuff out there. But honestly, I think the YouTube has been awesome for me because I have been in a video business for a while on the side from my real job, and I always made videos for other people. And it's cool to make videos for myself and then to actually have the YouTube algorithm find a few people to watch them is really cool to that I can share my work with other people and that they get something out of it. And so it's been cool on YouTube, just the community growth over there has been really cool. But then it's like when I go to stream on Twitch, it's like my homies show up, like
Yeah.
the true fans, like and the people that have made the switch over to Twitch from YouTube. I mean, I've had several of viewers say that they made a Twitch account to watch me, and that's just crazy. Like to go through those hoops to hang out with me in the evenings while I play video games is awesome. So like Twitch is like, like the true homies, like the real ones. And then YouTube is super cool too because like a lot of people watch my videos. It's been great.
Because obviously I went from the other way. I found you on Twitch and then moved over to watch on YouTube as well. But obviously on Twitch itself, you have that real-time interaction with people. Obviously in your chat, and it is a different sort of animal. Obviously with YouTube, you have to put probably going to sound wrong, but a lot more effort into YouTube. So I think a lot of people that don't create content just sort of think that with YouTube you literally press a button, record your video, and then bang, upload it, and it's that simple. Whereas obviously on Twitch, people see everything that you do, so it is a different sort of perspective from a viewer's point of view.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do with discoverability and why I feel like discoverability is better on things like YouTube because excuse me, with YouTube you can do some curated content that people are going to see, and within 2 or 3 minutes they're going to see something good, like some of your best stuff, and they're going to want to hit that subscribe button. Whereas in Twitch, I feel like to get to know a streamer, you have to invest like, a half hour to kind of see, how they are, how they play, how they act, if they interact with chat, how good they are at the game, if that's something you're interested in. I don't care too much about that, but stuff like that. Like you have to invest a lot of time to see if you like a streamer or not. And that's why I think when people find the streamers, that's why I think there's such a gap between the top tier streamers because people identify with them, they know they're good. They could go to a smaller streamer and watch it for 30 minutes and decide they don't like it. Whereas if they go to those, top streamers that they know do good content, I think that's why there's that gap there. But with YouTube, you can kind of put your best foot forward. And along those lines, I have a hard time stopping and uploading a video. Like I keep wanting to tweak stuff or add stuff, and sometimes I just have to tell myself, if you keep messing with this, you're never gonna upload the thing. So that's and with Twitch, you hit live and you start hanging out, and it's a lot of fun too. But
Yeah, it's everyone sees everything you do on Twitch. You can't edit out a mistake or poor gameplay or things like that. And obviously, like say we mentioned that you play a fair bit of Warzone, you play a bit of Battlefield as well on Twitch, and not every game is fantastic at all.
right,
Obviously, I watch quite a lot of yourself as well, and there's times where you are being put through the blender on games, but personally, you still always have that good vibe. There's always good vibes by you and your chat as well. And for me, that's what makes Twitch so special, is that no matter what, generally most people that are watching you are there for you. They don't particularly care too much how good you are in the game. Whereas I think people that watch YouTube are looking for information and good gameplay, that sort of thing. So that's where you
right. And that's kind of, and I have understood that when I started my channel, right? That's why I started doing Battlefield news. Is I want to try to cover the game efficiently and people get value from that content, right? Like that's the value I'm providing. They don't really care who Crash is. They just wanted Battlefield news. But with my face cam and with my little jokes here and there, and I even put on my tinfoil hat sometimes, like just doing stuff like that, I try to interject my brand just a little bit into the news. Like, so, eventually, if Battlefield dies, I hope I build, somewhat of a community that still will hang out with Crash, even though when Battlefield 2042 goes down and we have to switch games or something like that. And I understand I'm old, like I'm a boomer, and I'm not gonna be Shroud like when we're playing these video games. I'm not gonna be an aimbot. I'm not gonna be Dracoda on Warzone or anything like that. So I got to keep the vibes up, and I understand that I'm not gonna have great games all the time, but I understand that I play games to have fun. I used to
Yeah,
get mad all the time. I used to get upset. It's just not worth it, man. Like the world is crappy enough. Like we have like things that make us mad and upset. When we play games, there's no reason to get mad. Like it's just fun. Like that's how I look at it.
exactly. As chat finished bickering with themselves now, Elmo, everyone
Uh-oh,
listens to
uh-oh.
Tuna. Everyone listens to Tuna. We don't need to go there. Tuna on Battlefield 4 is Blender Central. Yes, it is. I agree with that completely. Here's the realest question you'll ever get, Tuna. Do you choose mayo or Miracle Whip to go on your tuna sandwiches? Choose wisely. Okay, you're going to get an exclusive here. I don't like tuna. I know, groundbreaking.
Bombshell. Bombshell.
Groundbreaking. But I also agree, I don't know what Miracle Whip is. I think that must be an American thing. Fuck on Farts, thank you very much for the 5 bitties as well. I don't know why my alert box isn't working. That's just apparently decided to die. Oh well. No, I don't like tuna. This name was the Xbox game tag generated name that you get given, and I just couldn't think what to change it to. Or stuck. I think actually Cheese Ladder was the first one that started calling me tuna everywhere. So shout out Cheese.
Shout out, That's awesome. My name's kind of funny too. Only the real OGs know where mine came from. If you want to hear that story, it's pretty embarrassing.
But then in that
Um,
case, we definitely want to hear that story.
so on oh man, on Xbox, so I got into by the way, real mayonnaise Norm is the way to go. Hellman's mayonnaise is the way to go, the real stuff. Um, so I started playing video games like pretty late in my life, like 21, 22. But back in high school, we played a little bit of Halo with friends. I would go over to their house. My parents honestly never let me play video games growing up, but if I was over at a friend's house, like we play Halo or something, and you get those you can change your little 4 letters over your character, and I was always poop. I'd change it to poop because I thought it was funny. So then later, a little bit later on, when you had to come up with a gamer tag, like my own game, I would always change it for whoever's account. When I was like, I want something with poop, and then I played Crash Bandicoot, so I made it Crash Bandipoop. Like,
Love it.
was like my full gamer tag for like a long time. Was even if you look at my PUBG account now on Steam, if I play PUBG, it still says Crash Bandipoop. So every time I stream PUBG, which is just once in a great while, people are like, "That's really your name?" I actually got to play with a Twitch friend, the real Septimore, and he played with a ex pro. He was actually a PUBG professional, and they asked if anyone wanted to play. I was like, "Oh yeah, I play." So I played with those guys, and then I had to explain why my name was Crash Bandipoop. So when I started doing like content stuff, I I bit the bullet, took the poop off, and then I was just Crash.
Got
So
rid of the poop. How about that?
yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have about 20 minutes left with Crash before we move on to Bespoke Boon. So, if you do have any questions at all, please do drop them for him there. My game tag is Juicy Taco Man. I don't think you need a backstory to get that one. Not at all. That one's relatively self explanatory.
I like it.
So, obviously, you say you got into gaming relatively late on. Has it generally been first person shooters that you play, or
Yeah, yeah. I've really haven't played anything else. I have a friend of mine, a coworker that's really into World of Warcraft, and I tried that, and I couldn't get into it. I understand, I get it. Like it's cool, like to have a character that you get attached to and work on leveling and all that stuff and get good gear for and things like that. But no, and it probably comes from I was actually a competitive shooter in real life. Um, and I was on the collegiate shotgun shooting team in college, and I've done a lot of competitive shooting, like just in the real world. So I've always kind of gravitated towards shooting games as well. the ammo is a lot cheaper in video games than it
Yes,
is
yes,
in
it
real
is.
life. So I was like, man, it's free ammo. Why don't we play video games? So here we are.
Exactly. Why does it not just appear like this everywhere? And
Yeah, it was a lot cheaper. So yeah,
obviously
that's
that.
I've always played those. I did the thing. Like I said, I dabbled in Halo a little bit, and then I think almost everybody's like gateway into shooters is COD, right? Like I started with Advanced Warfare, like the jetpack one
Yeah.
was my first like Call of Duty. I played on like the latter half of that, and then a little bit of the latter half of Battlefield 4 on PlayStation 4, and then Battlefield 1, and then I played all the Call of Duties and kind of just split time between Call of Duty and Battlefield, and then the PUBG craze hit, and I was like, excuse me, I was like, I gotta play PUBG. Like that game looks cool. You know, you'd watch Shroud and Doctor Disrespect on Twitch. That's what got me started on Twitch. That big PUBG boom, and or watching on Twitch, and I was like, I gotta play that. Well, it came out on Xbox, so me and my friends actually we went to GameStop and just sold our PlayStations and got Xboxes so we could get PUBG, and that was a broken disaster. It was hilarious. And then later on, it's been probably 2 years ago or so, I made the switch to PC where I built a PC for I had or Apples for a while for video editing, and then I switched to I built a PC because it was just a lot cheaper for the hardware you could get. And I was like, does this thing play games? I think it does. And then I started playing games on that, and that was it. I was hooked on PC.
Your keyboard and mouse, aren't you, mainly
Yeah,
over
yeah.
controller? So have you ever like really played controller on the computer, or is it virtually always been keyboard and mouse?
I I was always keyboard and mouse. When I switched to PC to play Rainbow Six. Is the game that I kind of switched on, and there's no aim assist in that, and like with pixel peaks and things, if you don't play it on a mouse, you're gonna get destroyed on a controller. There's a few people that can do it that are really good that I've watched play on the sticks, but it's you're at a significant disadvantage if you're an average person um playing that without aim assist. And then honestly, playing controller on a computer was kind of looked down on until Call of Duty, right? They put the aim assist and everything to kind
Yeah.
of balanced it pretty good in my. There's a disadvantage and advantages, especially depending on your range, but balanced it pretty darn good. So I bit the bullet and learned the keyboard and mouse. It took a while. Old dog new tricks thing.
Yes, I generally am always, if I play on the PC, plugging the controller in and playing with that. And it was actually Battlefield 4 a few weeks ago when I was playing with Cheese, that I was like, "Ah, this just doesn't feel right on controller." So I went to keyboard and mouse, and that's what he sort of meant by I was going through the blender on that. I'd never played Battlefield before. I'd never played keyboard and mouse before, and
Yeah,
but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every single second we played on that game.
it's
Playing
cool.
on that. So that is something that
It's
I'm looking to get more into. Um, yeah, so he always used to play as well, controller. We used to play Warzone together, and he was always a controller on the PC. And just one game, I think we were sort of like making little jibes about him. Or you play controller on PC, you might as well just get a console. And he decided to switch over to KBM, and he just different sort of world for him. So I
yeah,
think that is an advantage you have.
it's different, but I'm completely switched. Like it's probably been 2 or 3 months ago. I still have one of my Xbox Elite controllers. I saved it in case I wanted to use it for playing, you know, any kind of single player game maybe, or sometimes games play a little bit better on uh controller. So I kept it. I plugged it in on Warzone, and nope. I'm fully keyboard and mouse. I couldn't do anything with the sticks anymore. It's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, different
Cheese
worlds.
She's called it. It's about that muscle memory, and my muscles, my old boomer memory is so short. We have completely forgotten how to use a controller. So
We've also had another hydrate from Norm. Thank you very much for that. I really need to go and get a glass instead of just drinking out of a big ass bottle. But
I'll finish my coffee.
trying to hold off on the coffee for a short while, because I'm
Yeah,
only
you might
an
wait
hour
to
in
bring out the
and
big.
might need
Wait to
that.
yeah, wait to bring out the big guns till you need it later.
But to be fair, it's not very often that I see you drinking coffee. So every time I generally see you on stream, there's a glass of bourbon in your hand,
Yeah, yeah.
and
You can
we're
thank
having some
Hillbilly Man
vibes.
for that.
I can see
Yeah, you
Mouse
can.
always aims his feet. Yeah, it's true. Obviously, it
Yeah, yeah.
depends on the game, really. Some of them are very
Yeah.
broken. Yeah,
I think bourbon, basically alcohol, friends, and video games is like peanut butter and jelly, man. I have so much fun, having a few drinks and meeting friends online and playing video games. It's so fun.
yeah. Amount of times that Cheese give me a message and he's like, "Oh, we hopping on tonight. Go and get some beers," and just it adds to that whole vibe, doesn't it? Playing with friends, and I think that's one of the great things about gaming as well. Is you have that chance to relax with your friends and have a good time without having to go out of the house and do things because who wants to do that? That's not even
Yeah,
just in the current world. That's normal. Like they'll go out.
it's an awesome escape, right? And like, I mean, sometimes like with work and things, especially if you're out and about for work and you're in the hustle and bustle and the grind of real life, it's awesome just to sit with friends and escape to a different world and forget about that stuff for a little bit and have a few drinks and have some laughs, and that's what it's about. I like that a lot.
Exactly, and
And
people
that's
like BJ himself, that's in the chat, obviously being based in Britain as well, it gives you that chance to connect a bit more with American friends such as yourself.
right. Yeah, because I mean, we wouldn't without the magic of the internet and video games, like we wouldn't have ever even known each other. So yeah, it's awesome.
Exactly. I mean, this would be a very lonely place if it wasn't for the internet. Because first of all, I'd just be sat talking to my computer like a weirdo. But like I say, Cheese Ladder and Elmo are virtually the only two that I know from in real life in person. So the internet is a decent place sometimes.
Yeah, it can be. It can be used for good. I feel like.
It can. Most often it's not, but
Yeah, that's. I do the best I can. I can only control myself. So
but no, that's it. Like I
I.
said, every time we see like, tweets from himself or anything like that, they're always in a good vibe as well. I don't think I'm yet to see you really be negative too much about anything at all.
No, it takes a lot to get me mad, and I. Yeah, video games aren't enough to make me upset most of the time. I'll get occasionally a little frustrated at the game if I'm playing bad. I mean, and if I've had a few, I get a little upset. But I had one moment in college where I lost it at a video game, and that honestly, like, just completely put things in perspective and how stupid I was being. I was playing a UFC game and against one of my roommates, and there was a glitch in it where you could just spam like the B button and it would punch like super fast, and then I couldn't even move, like do anything. Well, I learned, like, I took the time to learn the game. I was doing all these transitions, all this grappling and submissions and things like that. And we went through this, we set up this whole big bracket, this tournament. We had our fighters and we went through this tournament, and it was in the championship. And I was doing all this stuff, and he panicked and just started doing that glitch thing, and he won the whole thing. And I took that Xbox controller and spiked it. It shattered. I punched a hole in the wall in the house. I got so mad. And then I like instantly felt like an idiot. It's like,
Yep.
now I have to buy a new controller. I have to fix a hole in the wall or the landlord's gonna lose our deposit. And like from that point on, I felt so ridiculous getting mad at video games. Like it honestly was just like a one and done cold turkey. Like I don't get anywhere near that mad.
I wish I could say the same, but no. I broke a mini controller, getting very, very mad at video games. I rage quit
I
games and, uninstalled there and then, like, nope, not playing this no more, get gone. Like,
I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, and more so with Warzone than others. I
yes.
think makes me upset, but yeah, I generally if I'm playing with friends and stuff, and especially on stream with talking to awesome people in chat, I could just whatever. Those things are more important than the game. That helps me a lot. I think I would get more mad if I played solo, like if I was just sitting
Yes.
here myself and I think
Cheese says he usually punches himself in the forehead, which probably isn't the best idea, but
And
I mean,
honestly, I didn't think of this, but playing with Boone helps a lot too, right? Because he's only 8,
yep.
and you kind of have to keep yourself in check with your language and your attitude, and you want to put a good example forward. And it's not a good example for an 8-year-old kid to start getting mad at video games at that age, right? So playing with him has helped me a lot too to keep my composure and things like that too.
And obviously, anyone that's watched Boone will know his opinion on cursing as well. So you drop one of them bombs in front of him, he's going to tell you, and you're going to know. So you don't
Yep.
want to disappoint
Yep.
Boone.
Nope, you
But
don't want to get on his bad side.
that
He'll
is
clean up your language in a hurry.
that is one of my biggest worries when I actually come to playing with him, because I cannot control what comes out of my mouth half the time.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why I didn't want to play Call of Duty too much on stream. Yeah,
I feel it.
definitely keep Cheese away. He can be very toxic at times.
That happens. And I honestly think video games are kind of an outlet for that too, right? Like sometimes if you do have some stuff built up, you can kind of take it out against the game. It doesn't hurt anybody. Um, that's something too. But I'm to the point where like I'm so old and slow and calm down. Like, I just chill. I can take
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna need you to teach me in them ways. Thank you very much. But
We
yeah,
can try.
we certainly can try indeed. So, well, we're coming pretty much to the end of this first hour. It's actually flown by. It really has absolutely
Yeah,
flown
it
by.
does.
So if you want to come back, for the next 23 hours, that would be great. It fly by.
You'll still be here.
I mean, I will still be here. Yeah, to be fair, Cheese has just put he is the nicest guy in real life. Online, open world RPG, that is correct. He is a fantastic guy in real life, but as soon as he gets that controller or keyboard in his hands, that is it. Altered personality, he's just completely different.
That's fair.
Which, to be fair, like you say, it is that sort of outlet that you get from gaming.
Yeah,
So,
I think gaming does keep people sane. I know sometimes like when I've had a rough day and things like that, like I really look forward to firing up the PC and playing with friends and relaxing and kind of forgetting about stuff for a couple hours. It really helps.
yeah, it is. It is fantastic for sort of relieving your day-to-day stress.
Yep.
Generally in a healthy way, unless you're me, then not in a healthy way at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so thank you very much for coming by for this hour as well. It has been a fantastic hour. It's been a pleasure
Sure.
chatting to you. Have you got anything that you do want to shout out? Obviously, we've got your socials in the chat, which I will just throw in again. But have you got anything planned that you coming up, or?
Not too much. Just gonna keep up with the YouTube stuff as much as I can. It's kind of a lull right now. Everybody's kind of chilled out on Battlefield, and people are just waiting until EA Play. Like my last videos have been pretty down on views, but looking across the board, I think interest in Battlefield, it was kind of like super hype, and then they dropped that information and they said more coming in July, and everybody's just kind of chilled out waiting for July. So, but we'll still be putting out stuff, trying to keep engaged over on YouTube and streaming games in the evenings over here. So that's what I plan on doing up until the
Enjoyable.
22nd, and then hopefully we get a Battlefield beta.
Yeah,
That'll be a busy time for me, and then when the game releases will be oof.
by the way, EA, if anyone is watching from EA, I don't appreciate you having EA Play the day after my birthday. Sort of, takes away from my birthday. So, can you move it, please?
We'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on Twitter. Maybe they'll change it now since you stole them.
They better do. They better do. But yeah,
They know what's good for them.
definitely go and check out his YouTube. Give him a follow on Twitch and on his Twitter as well. Well worth stopping by, having a chat with him on stream. Like we said, he's chillest guy you'll find. Fantastic gentleman. And it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on here and be chatting with you.
Thanks for having me. I will be around.
No problems, thank you very much. We are going to go throw you back to the video package. So sorry everyone that did cry first time around, but you're going to cry again. And we'll be back very shortly.